Let my honesty spill out through the pages.
You're listening to Escaping the Rat Race. I'm your host, Amy Leo, a singer, songwriter, and mental health educator. And our show is all about questioning the status quo and pushing the boundaries into what's possible for human beings and not probable. So tune in and get ready to escape the rat race, not only the monotonous 9 to 5 work grind, but also that incessant internal mental chatter that prevents most of us humans from experiencing more joy, peace, clarity, and freedom. On today's show, I'm speaking with Heather Ortega, a busy mom who's doing it all and keeping her sanity. If you're a busy mom, or a person for that matter, who is feeling overwhelmed, uninspired, or unhealthy, you've got to stay tuned. Also, a quick note, our scholarship contest for Costa Rica is open, so you can get more information about that at www.reviveyoursanity.com. Without further ado, let's knock into today's show. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. This is Amy Leo from reviveyoursanity.com. I'm here with my colleague Meg, and we're joined with Miss Heather today for another interview on our Solopreneur series, a series designed to inspire upcoming entrepreneurs and also connect current entrepreneurs. So Heather, I'm going to throw the ball over to your court, and you can just start off with telling us a little bit about yourself, your story, and what you're doing now.
Okay, great. Well, thanks for having me. My name is Heather. I am a mom. I have 2 little girls, a 12-year-old and a 3-year-old. So they keep me pretty busy, along with my husband, who is also a musician. You know, I sort of got involved with Beachbody. It took me quite some time, actually, to decide to go ahead and do it. But I think what drew me to wanting to do something is, as you know, having all these things that I take care of, you know, my kids, my husband, work. I felt like after, you know, all of that, there was never really any time left for me, and kind of lost who I was for a while, you know, me personally, you know, not mom, not wife, not employee, you know, just who I am and what I like to do. And in that as well, you know, I never really had much time for working out. You know, it always go on the back burner as well. So in that, you know, you further lose yourself by not taking care of yourself, you know, mentally and physically as well. So I was introduced to Beachbody by a cousin of mine. She had her first little girl, and I kept seeing her post pictures of her working out in her living room, and the baby would be right there, or the baby would be her weights. You know, and I'm looking at these, you know, every day, kept, you know, seeing these, and consistently she was there doing this, taking time for herself, even though she was a mom and a wife, and, you know, she works, you know, but she was finding time to do this. It was very, very inspiring. And I watched and followed for probably like 8 months. And my interest in what she was doing grew more and more and more. And finally reached out, and I reached out, I think 2 times before I finally said, okay, I really want to, you know, join you and do what you're doing, and, you know, tell me more about it. It was a huge, huge jump for me. To do something that was out of my comfort zone, try to make a commitment to something that was mine, was also scary, because I didn't have a lot of time for anything. But I had definitely been looking for something that was my own, that wasn't my husband's, you know, music. I am a huge supporter and help on the team with that. And, you know, raising 2 girls, that never ends. And so I was looking for something that was mine, and this really fit into it. And it gave me really everything I needed. It gave me a place, first and foremost, to be accountable to my own fitness goals, and, you know, just getting back into being active and working out on a regular basis. You know, that was first and foremost one of the biggest things. And through that, when you're working out and you're taking care of yourself, you know, you just start to have more energy and feel better. And I realized how much I had missed fitness as well. I was a personal trainer many years before that. When I left that, I didn't never looked back. You know, I would work out occasionally for whatever upcoming event that I would have, and then I'd fall off again for months and, you know, weeks and months at a time. So I realized how much I actually really missed that. So I discovered that as well. And I feel like I've always sort of tried to figure out, what am I good at? What do I want to do, you know, with my life, or what makes me happy? And, as much as I do love my job, it's not what I'm passionate about, in my day job. I found that I really liked connecting and helping people. And that just opened up a whole new thing. I never expected that I was going to love that part of it as much as I did. And as scary as it was to just put yourself out there, because basically, we run our business on social media by, promoting a healthy lifestyle, showing other moms or other people in general that, you have to make time for fitness and make time for you, despite our busy lives, that you're never going to be given that extra hour in a day to be like, okay, here's your time. It doesn't happen that way. You have to make time for what's important. And we get lost in that in our routine of, life, and you don't make time for it. You're never going to make time for it. So that was, I sort of lost where I was going with that, but I really enjoyed realizing how much I was going to be able to reach people. I'm 7.5 months into my journey with this now. I feel like I'm a completely different person than I was 7.5 months ago. I look back clearly at the girl who was like super scared to push post, just announcing that I was getting involved in this. It literally took me, I think, an hour to like write the post and then finally just push post and let the world know that I was going to do this and I was committing to this. But I was afraid to fail, in front of everybody. And that was, one of my biggest fears going in. And, just putting yourself out there in front of people is scary as well. So 7.5 months later, I feel like I'm very much a different person. I've discovered how much I miss fitness, and I love helping people and, finding people who are, have a similar mindset that want to do what I'm doing. Simply, starting your own health and fitness journey and sharing it. You literally just sharing what you're doing. We all pretty much share everything we're doing on social media anyway. So, I've been able to make a business out of this, and it's amazing to find out, to get messages from people that I didn't even know were watching. There was, all the way on the West Coast recently, a friend that I hadn't spoken to in a long time was like, you're really inspiring. And I was like, wow, I had no idea he even cared what I was doing. I can't believe that, it's impacting his life. So I really found a passion for, helping people, and it keeps me in check. It gives me my sort of creative outlet of my own that I can do in my pajamas or at the park while the kids are swinging, on the bus on the way home. I can run my business wherever and whenever I want. So it's fit perfectly into what I was looking for and needed in my life. So I'm at a point now, I'm looking to expand my growing fitness family to find more like-minded people that want to better themselves and realize how much just having the support of people surrounding you, that, how helpful it is, just in general for fitness and, and with all the other negativity in life. It's just nice to have positive stuff around you all the time. So that's kind of in a nutshell, I think, what I've been through in 7.5 months.
That's amazing, Heather. There's so many nuggets in there that I just want to I want to hear more about.
I don't even know what I just said. I feel like I just rambled on.
No. I mean, what I hear from you is something I do hear from a lot of good friends of mine that are running a household. They're working full time. They're raising kids, and this piece about taking time out for yourself is so inspiring and so critical, and the initial reason why I was attracted as well to interview. So it is amazing how I find when we all step into just being authentic, how we connect with people without trying. I don't know if you've had that sense, but it seems like it from the gentleman that you heard or the person that you heard from on the West Coast.
Right. Yeah, I want to be real. I'm not trying to be somebody I'm not. That would just be too much work and effort, and that would be crazy. I want to, I want to show. I mean, moms are sort of my favorite area because I get them the most. I understand how hard it is to find the energy to just do it, or it's tough. Kids are really tough. They're a 24-hour job. They never stop, and you always put them before everything. But at a certain point, you do have to take care of yourself. And I feel like I've become, a much more patient mom in taking that time for myself. And they're learning from me as well. My youngest daughter, she joins right in with me all the time. And the other day, actually, was a rest day. We had just gotten back from vacation, and she's like, "Ma, do you want to do yoga?" And we just kind of laughed. I did not want to that day, but it made me realize, that I'm setting an example for them, that it's part of what we do. On vacation, my husband and I, we, every day it was just part of our day. It wasn't a chore. It wasn't something, like, oh, we have to go do that. The kids know it's part of our day. Eventually, the older one, I think, will join in. Right now, it's just like, to think of exercise as fun is, not really something that she gets right now. But, it's part of our life, and that we're, showing them that it's just part of your day, whatever part of your day you fit it in, and one of the things I think that's been really, really helpful, and I have no idea if maybe this is just super off subject, but one of the things that's been really helpful to me is just realizing that being consistent with that has been so important. And so many days, I follow my routines, my Beachbody routines, and I really love them. But so many days I have to juggle that and roll with the punches. And if I didn't, I wouldn't get something in. So we have lots of park workouts. We play tag. I jump squat while they're hiding and seeking, and then we take turns. I push out squats and stuff while they're swinging, pushing around the swing, squat till I can't possibly squat anymore, or lunge. So I've learned to just sneak it in and make it fit however it is. If it's a quick thing in the morning because I woke up late, or the other one, there's too much chaos in the house. I have my go-to circuit that I just do really quick. And by doing that, I'm more likely to stay consistent the next day because I made time, whether it be 10 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever it is. But, because I did it this day, I'm more likely to be at it the next day. When I stop, that's when I fall off. And you let every excuse get in the way. And then 6 months later, you're not feeling very great.
Yeah. Meg, I'm wondering, do you have a question you want to ask Heather?
How, for new entrepreneurs and people just looking to become healthier, because obviously that's what you're working with Beachbody, what do you recommend for them to stay on track? Both, if they're coming into Beachbody, to also work with Beachbody and get fit themselves, what helped you the best? I know you kind of talked about it a little bit just now, but what helped you the best, do you think, with staying on track and feeling confident in reaching out to people?
Definitely. Still staying with consistency, but first, I guess, is just the support and positivity that I found, as I watched my cousin. I surrounded myself with tons of other coaches. I just, liked lots of other fitness pages or other coaches in the business, recipes. I just flooded my newsfeed with all kinds of things that were, health oriented and fitness oriented and just happy stuff. Through that, that was really helpful, just seeing, even though I didn't know half of them, I was seeing all these people show up there doing these workouts in their home, despite little kids crawling around them or whatever. You see that if other people can make it work, so can you. Of course, we all have some social, special circumstances or whatever that, you just have to juggle it and, learn how to keep going. And then just, like I said, staying consistent. When I say I don't have time and I don't have time and I don't have time for 2, 3, 4 days in a row, I'm way less likely to stay with it if I've already, had that many break days. So whether I can follow my full program that morning or not, I get something in, whether it's with the kids or they're running around me. Some days I have to push pause, go take her to the bus, come back and finish it. Making it work and, just really staying consistent and keeping the positivity around me for my own personal goals. And as a new coach starting out, it was overwhelming to absorb everything and keep putting yourself out there. You'd think, oh my gosh, do they think I'm annoying every day telling them I did my workout today, everybody? And, so you worry, am I annoying my friends? And, the more I would see the same people liking it or they're not. And I know that, now I know that they're watching from, at some point I found out, that they told me, you're really super inspiring or whatever. So having the support of, just having positive stuff in your life. And I sort of lost it there, but I think I got my point across.
No, yeah, awesome. Thank you so much. I mean, you had mentioned earlier about the support, also about like not even knowing certain people are following you because not everybody interacts, but then having them reach out to you like that guy did, let them know that you're following you. So you never know who you're impacting, which I love. And I love that you noticed that as well. So thank you.
Yes, for sure.
Oh, great. I love the flexibility of mind that you have, Heather. And I think that that's something that I work more in the mental health field, but of course the mindset is absolutely linked to your physical health, whether you're, again, making time to do the workouts, like you said, or again, doing a lot of body judgments, which is something I've certainly fallen into in the past. I'm sure your clients have too. So there's something really beautiful about how you're showing up with just this flexibility of growth-oriented mindset. And I'm almost curious about what was it that finally made you've been seeing this feed for so many months of your cousin, and what was it that made you decide to finally go with it? Was it more of a gut instinct, or how did that kind of show up for you?
It was a lot of self-talk, talking myself into it, and I'd run it by my husband. What do you think? Do you think this is silly? And, again, I was so worried about what people would think, I'm like, do you think this is a silly thing? And I was like, I know what she has done for me. I know that she has impacted my life and inspired me to take a good look at myself and say, you're look at her, she's making time despite how tired she must be as a new mom. I knew that I needed to just start getting moving again. So I think it was just a lot. I just had to really talk myself into it. And yeah, I guess I finally just said, if I can't keep thinking about it or there I'm going to wonder what if, or I'm just going to keep thinking about it. So yeah, I guess so. I guess I finally just talked myself into it enough to say, I'm taking this jump and I'm just going to figure out where it lands. If I'm helping one or two people, or I'm helping 200 people or 2,000 people, I don't really know. I just know that it's helping me, and I know I'm helping some people, and I hope I hope that I have reach more as my team grows, but I definitely believe in what we're doing for sure.
Absolutely. I mean, that comes through brilliantly, Heather, when you speak. And it's so funny. I think how it's so human, right? To have an idea that you'd like to do something, but then it's like the thought committee goes crazy, and it's like this parliament in your head of like, should I do it? Should I not do it? What should I do? And I just love that you just went for it. I was really touched. I don't know if anyone else has read this, but there was a nurse that actually had worked in hospice for a number of years in her career. And she actually recorded what the top 5 regrets of dying people were. And the first one was, I wish I'd had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. And I think it's so beautiful that that's what you're doing, Heather, because it is so easy to get caught up in other people's beliefs and to take other people's thoughts or perceptions as true. That's so human. But again, it's such a beautiful example that you are now kind of spreading forward. It's almost like a pay it forward, it seems,
For sure. Yeah. And I mean, honestly, this call even scared me, and I think that in the time that I've taken this on and even just making that first decision, I've just kind of made a commitment to myself to say, do things that scare you, because it's amazing what feeling comes out of it when you realize, oh, that wasn't so bad. And then you only grow from there. I, got on this call not really knowing, what I was going to say. and always putting yourself out there is scary. And I'm fairly shy person, fairly big introvert who wants to be an extrovert. And I'm trying. This has really helped me with that a lot, forcing myself to put myself out there and better myself and help others along the way.
Yeah, it's such a great point. I feel that in my experience, again, we're kind of our own worst enemies. We worst case scenarios, and most of those never come true. And even if they do, I remember with my singing career, I used to be petrified to post on YouTube until someone said to me, "What's the worst that can happen? Someone writes a nasty comment? Big deal. What does that have to do with your day-to-day life?" And I just laughed, because they were so right.
Right.
It feels real in the moment, and what I've found is that being human, again, the stress feelings or the feelings of fear, they do pass. And they always pass, and you come to these moments of beautiful open spaciousness, which is great, which you're describing. Okay, Heather, just to wrap it up, I would love for you to share your biggest success story so far, and then if you can let people know where they can reach you to get more information if they want to work with you, that'd be great.
The person I suppose that comes to mind right now, and she's done, I must give her credit, so much of it on her own, but somebody that's been consistently in my groups for probably at least 3 or 4 months now. I have seen her push through on days that I know it's tough. I know her schedule is tough. She's a mom. And I see her, it's late at night, she's checking into the challenge group and showing me, she's like, I did it. She got her workout in and she's super sweaty. What is so exciting is seeing posts like the other day, she said something to the effect that she was kind of self-conscious and she wouldn't want to play outside and run around with her daughter. And she did that the other day, her little daughter, and they made memories together, running around in the yard. And because of her consistent choices to show up every day and, try to better herself with health and fitness and stuff, she was able to. And she's lost weight. I've seen her go on a first date and get dressed up and feel good in what she's wearing. So it's amazing to see people even that haven't worked out a day in their life really consistently showing up. Even this one girl, we've been friends all my life practically. She does her own thing, but we've gotten involved together in this past group or two, and she's consistently showing up. And it's just amazing, to be able to know that you're inspiring somebody to do something so important as, taking care of your health, to extend your life and how you feel in clothes. It's very, very cool to know that you've had an impact on people's lives.
Great, Heather. Well, thank you so much for taking the time out of your schedule to share your story with Meg and I. We are also going to be running some retreats. Our next one is going to be actually in Costa Rica. So we do cater specifically to solopreneurs, creatives, and we do have a gal there that does mental health coaching and business coaching, and she is also a busy mom. So
okay,
this is some good stuff. So folks can also find us, and these will also be posted at reviveyoursanity.com. So Heather, thank you very much. I actually would love to touch base in maybe a couple months and see how everything's going then for you.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. Thank you so much for thinking of me and including me. I really appreciate it. It's great connecting with you again.
Awesome, Heather. Sounds great. Have a great day.
Thank you so much. And nice to meet you, Meg.
Nice to meet you too, Heather. Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Well, that was really inspiring. A mom of 2 kids and a husband that's a very busy singer-songwriter, and yet she's still taking care of her health. She's running her own business, and she's inspiring other people. If you do want to reach out to Heather, you can reach out at beachbody.coach.com and /Heather Marie O. So I'll spell that out again in case you want to reach Heather on the World Wide Web. So you would go to www.beachbody.coach.com /Heather HEATHER Marie MARIEO. Heather is really just such a beautiful spirit inside and out, and I've seen her when she's in her role of mom and wife, and she's such a support and source of love for her family. My major take-homes for today were that I really valued the flexible, kind, and gentle mindset that Heather demonstrated, and how she just does a little bit each day, even if it doesn't look like how she thought when she woke up her workout routine was going to look, like when she was at the park working out with the kids or lifting the kids. And I also really liked this piece of the importance of being around a community of like-minded and positive people. And along the lines of that social acceptance piece, I also really liked how she highlighted that just because people don't give you immediate feedback, it doesn't mean that they aren't inspired by what you do, and it doesn't mean that you're not making a difference in the lives of people. And that was highlighted really beautifully through her sharing her story. If you want to get more inspirational and practical conversations for escaping the actual and/or mental rat race delivered straight to your device, all you've got to do is subscribe on iTunes, and to do that, you type in the search engine of the podcast area of your iPhone, Escaping the Rat Race with Amy Leo. And while you're there, if you could be so kind as to leave us a review, the reviews are really helpful for us, especially since we're a new podcast, and we actually do give a gift card to a random reviewer every week. If you are interested in learning more about what we do, and what retreats we have coming up, what they entail, what's the value. We are actually going to Costa Rica this August. There's a couple more spots for that. And we are actually also going to India in February. And that's a really small retreat with only 4 spots left. You can find out more information at www.reviveyoursanity.com. Until then, keep rockin'.